Welcome back, guys. In this video I finished the trailer enough so that I can push it under the boat. I decided to do the drawbar next, so there's not any welding that's going to disturb doing the suspension down there. It only moved about 0.5 millimeter. That's promising. And that one only moved about 1 millimeter. So that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that because doing all that welding on this type of structure, it wouldn't surprise me at all if those two sides closed in a bit. I've tacked on the inner plates where I intended them to be. I only tacked them because, and then I did an alignment setup. I've got it within 1 millimeter parallel. It's all within the adjustments that the Duratorques give you with the slotted holes. This way on this end and that way on the inner ends. So that's really good. I can take the Duratorques off now and weld on the inner plates and know that when I do the final assembly after galvanizing, everything will work. I can work with it, but I must say some of the manufacturing that Trojan has done with these Duratorques is a bit disappointing. Look at that, how out of square that is. And I've checked the others and they're close enough, but this one, for example, how do they justify that? And if it weren't for the fact they had slotted holes there, they're not meant for that purpose, I don't think. I've just used them for the purpose to get everything parallel. I've done just about everything that needs to be done before it gets turned over and welded on the other side, and the other job's done on the top side of it. Just one job left to do on these. I'm going to put a doubler plate, not because I think it really needs it, because it's got that inner girder there, but because on every trailer I've seen with such a joint in such a place, there's usually a doubler on it. I'm not sure if turning it over this way is going to work. It'd be great if it does. I need to stop at 1/4 of a turn anyway, so I can do a lot of horizontal welding. If it works this way, it'll save me building scaffold structure to make it happen. This is all a bit dodgy. I think I'm going to have to build a scaffold of some kind to lift it and rotate it. I'm so glad I didn't put the scaffolding out. This is working so well. Look how easily I can turn it. I need to go the other way actually. Upside down now. All I have to do is lower it. A lot of the welding's done now. Just one more 90-degree rotation for a few welds. And there's the ducks having a rest after a bit of activity. Great shady spot. I'm having a bit of a think about these plates. Although the weld was deeply ground out on the other side, so it's immensely strong for the suspension in this spot. I'm thinking maybe I should put a gusset here and here and here. That might be what the inspectors want. Not so important on the inside one because that takes a whole lot less weight from the suspension. But just trying to second guess the inspectors. That's one reason why I'll probably put it all together before getting it galvanized and get it entered as a new trailer and if they want to pull me up on anything, it's easy to do some welding without all the galvanizing on and ruining the galvanizing. That's the plan at this time. This plate gets welded to the top side. This is upside down at the moment, but I'm using the plate for the alignment of these holes. They have to be pretty accurate because the bolts will go through quite close to the wall underneath there. It's not a great arrangement, but it's commonly done like this. Oh, that's a pain, but I've got more than one 12.5mm drill. Thanks Dave of Fariura Engineering for supplying this marine jockey wheel. It's the marine one because it's got the stainless steel bolts, it's got a stainless steel screw inside, stainless steel spring, it's got a bronze nut inside, and it's got the blue handle which denotes it's the marine version. I've got to melt this bracket here which gets welded on, and the whole thing has got to clear the upstand which goes about here for the winch, and a brace here, and those will be on U-bolts. So, and the other end we've got the coupling, so it's got to work with everything. I'm going to go and enter some details into my CAD drawing to make sure I've got everything right. I think I have a position which is near enough. That swings down. I can see I'm going to have to make this bracket as high as possible on the bar, because that drawing there is with the wheel fully up. Today's mission is to create this structure here that these planks sit on, probably made out of plywood, that the bulb sits on, and it also has a dual purpose of strengthening this cross member here quite significantly, because it's got these these uprights here, so it triangulates that area and makes the whole thing so much stronger. It's not untypical for a boat with a bulb to build like this, but it has a real downside in that with the weight of the boat on here, it wants to twist all this, and channel's not the greatest for torque. I'm going to be building it out of 12 by 50 1/2 inch by 2 inch flat bar. Looking from the side, it'll be something like this. That gap's probably a little bit too big, 1 inch or 25mm. So I'm going to look to reduce that. What I'm going to do next is measure the depth of the bulb here, get a final measurement for it. 432 minus 213 is 219, and you can see I've got 220 here, so that's close enough. So I can actually lift the whole trailer. I'm not moving the boat because the boat is locked into 0 point here, so that the boat never moves, but the trailer will. So I can lift the whole trailer up by the looks of it at least 20mm, and leave, say, a 12mm gap here, which should be plenty. It's going down, ducks. It's fresh water back there for you. They believed me. You get to see who's the boss. I don't know how they keep track of what the pecking order is. Inside there is probably one of those welds I should have left alone. It probably would have been fine with the galvanizing. Definitely the way to do it. Put a bit of round bar in there, just 2 passes, and that's the inside finish. On the other side, I ended up putting a bit of round bar in there, but I lost count of how many rods I poured in there. You can always add more to it, but I'm pretty sure the trailer's up to the spec of other trailers I've seen in the same category, same size boats going on them. Just have to roll it over now, 180 degrees, and do some welding on the undersides of those flat bars. And then I don't think there's anything much stopping me putting the suspension and the wheels on and rolling it under the boat. I'd push it under the boat, but I'm running out of daylight and there's one or two jobs I've got to do before then. It moves around quite well because it's got that big inflated tyre up the front there. They make it a lot easier to move around on, especially on rough ground. And what I've got to do before I put it under the boat is make another scaffold that'll straddle the trailer. So there's a bit to work out. Got to lift the boat up quite a bit and then pop it down on the trailer close to it, and then make up these bunks, one going there and one on either side back there. There's supposed to be some rain coming tomorrow, and pretty much all the welding's done except for what I have to do for the guards to set them up. I'll wait for the final position of the guards to see how the boat sits on the trailer and what clearances we have. Today's mission is to get that under there, but I got to lift up the boat with another method. That bit of scaffolding there works very well, but it's not going to allow the trailer to pass underneath. Will it lift the boat, guys? And I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about this setup. So this is all set up so the trailer can go underneath. Let's find out. All the weight currently is pretty much on this block, which I don't like because it's the weight of the bulb as well. It's spread out over quite an area, but not good practice maybe. Now this is in the way of it. Rescue helicopter flying out of the mountain. Just taking a bit of weight off it for peace of mind. But there's no reason why it shouldn't work. The scaffolding has been amazing. I've used it on so many parts of this project, up to mention the house which it was bought for in the first place. A great investment. Keeps on giving. I think I've done all I can to prepare for putting the trailer under the boat. If the jack wasn't there, it'd be really easy, but I've got to support the front of the trailer somehow because it's so close to that bulb it can't drive straight in. I'll put the engine lifter on the back of the trailer and move it across a bit because I've had to go to one side. Next hurdle is to get the jockey wheel over that bit of scaffolding tube going across there. Okay, the trailer's close to level. Just got to lower the boat now. Where are we at? The boat is fairly level. I've dropped the bulb down onto the trailer because I want to see the deflection. Whether it's more than normal for this type of trailer, I'm not sure. I'll have to do a little bit more research on that. It dropped the trailer down about 8 millimeters, 5/16 of an inch. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. See you next time.